Some NBA players can play the whole season without worrying about anything, or at least with no more pressure than usual. Others won't. That's because different roles are given to each player. They have to live up to new contracts and extensions worth a lot of money. In this video, we'll discuss the players who plan to leave an impression this season. First off, Donovan Mitchell from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Even the best hopes can be dashed, and Mitchell's first 4 years in Utah were among the best. He was selected 13th overall, but he brought more talent, star power, and hope than we expected. This was especially true for a team that had just lost its previous All-Star, Gordon Hayward. Both he and the Jazz kept improving, which made us happy until they both crashed in the playoffs in back-to-back years. Everyone watched his choice of shots and defense and his interactions with All-Star teammate Rudy Gobert. Things went wrong fast, which led to his shocking trade to Cleveland. So where does he stand? How will he get rid of the last thing people thought about him in Utah? Will he be the lead, a co-star, or something else with fellow All-Stars Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, and the very talented Evan Mobley? Even without Mitchell, the Cavaliers' last season was a big step forward. He can stop people from criticizing his game by improving it by at least one step. Up next, Christian Wood from the Dallas Mavericks. Christian Wood's a great finisher, an offensive wizard, and a fierce rebounder. Coach Jason Kidd said he'll be coming off the bench for Dallas this season. When asked about this on Media Day, Wood had no idea. It wasn't the best fresh start for a 27-year-old forward who puts up numbers wherever he goes but always ends up going elsewhere. Since 2015, when he went undrafted, Dallas had been his 7th team, but his skills seemed perfect for playing with Luka Doncic. Why? Well, because he could use Wood in the pick and roll to significant effect. Now, the only question seems to be how much Dallas plans on using this new option and whether Wood's going to show that the answer's more than they thought. Followed by Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers. We know. Turner's future in Indiana's not a sure thing ever since he made an offer sheet to DeAndre Ayton that Phoenix matched too. Let's be honest, his contract's about to end. That must be a blow to the former lottery pick, who probably thought he was ready to break out after years of playing with Domantas Sabonis in 2 big man lineups. If he had the whole middle of the court to himself, the already great shot blocker might have tried something new on offense. Instead, Indiana's wandering eye's still there, and there are trade rumors about any team needing a big man who can block shots and shoot from beyond the arc. Turner's got every season to have a breakout season with the Pacers in 2022-23. How? Well, starting with the fact that he'll be free to sign with any team he wants next summer. Moving on to Anthony Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers. When we talk about missing big stars, it feels more than 2 years have passed since Davis helped the Lakers win the NBA title in 2020. The big man's only played 76 games over the last 2 seasons. This doesn't even include the 5 games he played in the 2021 playoffs. The answer seems straightforward. With Davis and LeBron James in 2020, the Lakers have a chance to win the NBA championship. Without him in 2019, 2021, and 2022, they'll be lucky to make the playoffs and probably end up in the lottery. But Davis's injuries have happened so often and at bad times that they're starting to define what should be the best part of his career. Last season was the first time since 2013 that he didn't make the All-Star team. He seems eager to turn this loss into a comeback story. He recently told the media that the Lakers are the underdogs and that they do have a chip on their shoulder. Next, Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. This has nothing to do with how Antetokounmpo played or how he did in the playoffs last year. Honestly, it's hard to find anyone on the 2021 champions who might have something to prove, especially not a 2-time MVP and one of the best players in the history of the NBA. This is just a continuation of what Antetokounmpo said on Media Day. He said he thinks the best players are the ones who manage to bring their team to the finish line and help them win games and become champions. He added that was how he felt about himself after he won the championship in 2021. Now, he thinks Stephen Curry's the best player in the world. That sounds like someone who knows how to win at the highest level and can't wait to get there again. Not to mention Duncan Robinson from Miami Heat. At one point, Robinson's 3-point shooting was so good that Miami never hesitated when he became a free agent, and his price went up quickly. The Heat agreed to pay him $90 million over 5 years, which shows how hard it was for defenses to stop Robinson from being on the court. This reputation ended in the playoffs of 2022, when Robinson's playing time was cut in half, and the coach gave him some nights off. He told the Long Shot podcast then, "Not playing stinks, especially when you think you can do it and can help win. It's a hard feeling to describe." Still, Miami's only 1 game away from the finals, so Robinson needs to show that he can raise the Heat's already high ceiling. Let's learn more about DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks. When he's healthy, the 4th overall pick in the 2019 draft shows himself as a great and versatile defender with room to grow on offense. Because of injuries, the 6'8" forward's only played in 76 games over the last 2 seasons. Hunter and the Hawks haven't agreed on a contract extension yet. If this is still the case after the October 17th deadline, he'll be able to sign with any team he wants in 2023. That could be a great experience if Hunter can get rid of the injured label and get his work back on an upward trend. This has been a challenging year to judge the player. It's been both frustrating and inconsistent, but every once in a while, it's been great. By a player's 3rd year in the league, there are usually signs that they are either turning the corner or living up to the hype before the draft. Hunter's somewhere in between these 2 types. His skills are so precious to the Hawks, but he hasn't quite lived up to his high number 4 overall draft position yet. Coming up is Ben Simmons from Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons missed the 2021-22 season because of mental health problems and back injuries, but it looks like he's ready to do better this year. He took time away from the Philadelphia 76ers at the beginning of the season to work on his mental health. He was still a member of the team. In a time when the Nets aren't sure what will happen, Simmons' health is very important. If he can return to his old self, he can make Brooklyn a real contender for the paper title. The 3-time All-Star should fit well with point guard Kyrie Irving, who should be motivated to show what he can do since he only has a 1-year contract. The Nets added defense and 3-point shooters through free agency, so they should do better this season in the tough Eastern Conference. Next, Patrick Williams from the Chicago Bulls. The opinions of experts on Williams have changed a lot. Everyone wondered if Chicago had picked him too high when he was chosen 4th overall in the 2020 draft. After a year, we almost agreed that Williams had to play defense for the Bulls to have a chance to win. Injuries made things even more confusing. They might have to settle for the 21-year-old who's still young, since Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball are on Chicago's team. Williams isn't the only key to their defense. Still, he seems determined to change his evaluation this season. During the offseason, he worked with All-NBA teammate DeMar DeRozan. Finally, Marvin Bagley III from the Detroit Pistons. Bagley's the only one of the top 6 picks in the 2018 draft to have switched teams. It's a difference that makes him uncomfortable, but he hopes it'll work out for the best since Sacramento traded him to Detroit in February. The Pistons liked what they saw enough to sign Bagley to a 3-year, $37.5 million contract in the offseason. In 18 games with the Pistons in 2021-22, Bagley had 14.6 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and 0.7 steals in 27.2 minutes. He scored at least 10 points in 15 of the 18 games he played for Detroit. In 4 of those games, he scored at least 20 points. In 25.1 minutes, he averages 13.6 points, 7.4 rebounds, 0.9 assists, and 0.7 blocks. Now it's up to him to live up to the enormous potential that made him the number 2 pick. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Which of these players will be the most impressive this season? Do you think they'll be able to land a new team or take their current ones to a championship? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.